Very excited to have the opportunity here to discuss E29 and our two projects located in Peru. I'll move now to slide 3. So we have two very exciting opportunities in Peru. These are very new projects to the market. We're excited about these two projects. They're not new projects in the sense that they have had exploration on them in the past. They're two key projects. They're well located in the country of Peru. They're close to the coast with great infrastructure, low elevation, already has a historic resource on one, and the other one has 18 initial drill holes in it with wide intersections of copper, molybdenum, and silver. So we're very excited about these two projects and bringing them to the open market. We have a very experienced team. I've been working in Peru for over 10 years, so understand how to do business there. And also we have a very tight share structure as we completed our IPO, and we're going to have some very significant catalysts that drive our work program and milestones for the value of the company going forward into 2021. Our management team, myself, I was with Inco Limited for 23 years in exploration management. I was also CEO of Lakeshore Gold and former chairman of Claude Resources, which was sold to SSR Mining, and I'm currently a director of SSR today. Richard Osmond is the founder of Globetrotter Resources, where these two projects were that they come from. He has extensive exploration experience in Peru, as well as I, so that brings a lot of experience to the projects to move them forward. Rounding out the rest of the management team, Dwayne Lowe also has worked in Peru with First Quantum, currently also the CFO for Entrée Resources, so obviously in the copper space as well. And the other directors, Michael Doggett, Patrick Elliott, and Peter Espig. Dr. Doggett was a former professor of mineral economics at Queen's University. Patrick Elliott is also an experienced explorer in Peru. And Peter Espig is also CEO of Nikola Mining in the copper space in Canada. Our share structure is very tight, 80 million shares fully diluted. We just finished our IPO and raised $6.7 million. So we're well financed to go forward on these two projects. And you can see from our share position, Globetrotter, by virtue of spinning out the two projects to E29, holds 23% of the company at this time. And then management and board own 6% of the company. This slide shows the two locations and photos of the two projects. Flor de Cobre, located in the southern copper belt, low elevation, fairly hummocky hills, so very good for potential mining prospect going forward. The Elida project you see on the right, big copper anomaly that was discovered by Globetrotter in 2013, so very new. So first I'll talk to you about our Flor de Cobre property. You can see on the center part of the diagram here, you can see here that's the location of the historic area where there's a historic resource. Just for scale, you can see that there's a truck located here. So we own 100% of this project, or are earning 100% in one small part of the project. It contains a historic resource which was drilled by Phelps Dodge in the 1990s. At that time, copper was, at a very low price, and so the project was not pursued and has been in the private hands of a family for 30 years since that time. So we were able to make an agreement with that family to acquire that historic resource, which is wide open for further exploration, but starts us off with a good high-grade enrichment zone and oxide opportunity to move forward fairly rapidly. So again, as the other project, this is excellently located, great infrastructure with power lines close by, roads, and close to the coast, where most of the product from copper mines in the general belt are shipped to markets. So the promising exploration here, you can see some of the initial results, 272 meters of 0.9% copper in the central part of the historic resource. Of that, the top part, the top 200 meters or so, is enrichment and oxide, grading 1.3% copper. Very good grade, very high grade. And then below that, only a few holes into the sulfide primary ore, grading 0.54% over 148 meters. So a lot of great opportunity for sulfide expansion as well as oxide on the project. You can see here the location. The location here is between the Cerro Verde mine, which is the third largest copper mine in the world, and 8 kilometers north of the Chapi deposit owned by Nexa Resources. And these are both located in the significant Paleocene copper belt, which extends down into Chile and is a significant producer of copper in the world today. And you can see it's located very close to the second largest city in Peru called Arequipa, and very close to the coast. This satellite image shows you the 2 target areas on our Flor de Cobre property. The primary one is our Candelaria deposit. This historic resource is 57 million tons of 0.67, wide open at depth and on strike to the northeast. So that will be the focus of our preliminary drill program when we get there. And a second target that we worked on last year in 2019, called the Atravesado target, is a very large 1 by 1.2 kilometer system. Good mineralization at surface, obviously leach capping as well, as very similar to Candelaria. We've completed all the geophysics and surface sampling and mapping, and are be working on finalizing our ability to drill that through a permit later this year. This slide shows you a cross-section through the Candelaria historic resource, and you can see here from the resource, it's perfectly pit-shaped. And it's all above, the enrichment zone is all above 200 meters from surface. So very amenable to an open pit situation, good grade, very clustered opportunity. And below that, there's still a lot of open area down here for the sulfide, as well as on strike to the northeast. So a lot of upside here to add to that resource. This just shows you the small workings that occur on the property. These are all above that resource, so never impacted it. So they were just mining surface oxide and enrichment material that was very close to surface, goes down about 20 meters. That's all. So again, they were selling this material close by to various facilities. So now I'll take you through Elida. Elida is a very large porphyry. It's a 2 by 2 kilometer system. Was discovered by Globetrotter and then was drilled in 2015 with initial 18 holes that were very successful in intersecting significant mineralization. This one as well, we own 100% of this project. And very promising exploration results. And you can see one of the holes highlighted here, 500 meters of 0.42% copper, including 193 meters of 0.46 copper in that deposit. So starting off with a really great result, wide open at depth and on strike in all directions. So there are a lot of opportunity to grow this and build on a resource in the future. In addition to that one area that was tested, which is the central target, there are 4 other untested central porphyry targets on the property that are very promising. We can see the mineralization sitting at surface, and so a lot of opportunity to grow this into a significant resource. You can see from this slide the location. It's in the belt that also contains the Antamina deposit, which is very significant, and you can see in green the pipeline that takes the Antamina material to the coast here, and we're only about an hour and a half's drive from the town of Barranca, which is 4 hours drive north of Lima. Geologically, the project again sits right on that main belt and is Eocene in age, which is consistent with a lot of the big deposits in Chile. And again, this is a brand new opportunity that the market hasn't been aware of, and is being taken for the first time to market for us. And we hope to be focusing on our maiden resource here throughout 2021. This slide shows you some of the holes from the central target area, and you can see the very, very high grades and wide widths. Many of the widths are 300 meters to 500 to 600 meters in width, and copper equivalent grades reach as high as 0.579 over 500 meters. With the molybdenum and silver credits, molybdenum is very high compared to average copper moly porphyries. It's 2 to 3 times higher than the average grade in most porphyries, so very good, and a good silver credit as well on the deposit. So we're excited about working in this area towards a maiden resource for the year, and we hope to get going very soon. This slide here shows you the location of the central target, which is right in this area here. This will be the focus of our first phase drilling, and then there's a target here, as well as in this area under here, and then in here. These 4 other targets can add significantly to the size of the system if drilling successful in those areas. So a lot of brownfields upside here, so we're excited about getting going on this spectacular project. This slide shows you the geophysics, and on top of the geophysics, we've draped the mineralization. Green is copper and blue is molybdenum, so you can see they're very consistent grades in this area here. This will be the area where we focus, and we will be infilling some holes in here to be able to tighten up the drilling to create our first maiden resource here, as well as planning to expand in areas here where there's no drilling, so that we can grow the resource the best we can. The previous drilling, as you can see, the end of holes here ended in mineralization in almost all cases. So there's certainly at depth, it's wide open, and it's wide open on strike. And of course, we have the other 4 targets here. So this is a world-class, serious, large deposit opportunity. So we're going to be excited to get going on that option. So the catalysts for the company on these 2 very advanced projects, from an exploration standpoint, we hope to get drilling here in the early part of 2021, and we'll focus on probably Elida first, and then go to Flor de Cobre with our preliminary drill programs. We'll focus in on the historic resource at Flor de Cobre first, and make that a modern 43-101 resource, as well as starting from the products of the drilling. We'll be able to initiate some metallurgical studies, and then that will flow into engineering studies into 2022 as we start to take the project through economic assessments. In addition, we have that Atravesado target. We will be working on permitting that one, so that we can get drilling on that in the very, very early part of 2022, so that we can look for brownfields growth in addition to the known deposit that's there with the historic resource. At Elida, we plan to grow the resource very quickly, and start to do some metallurgical testing as well. And again, that's another reason why these are more advanced projects. We're not grassroots. We're moving these very quickly through to more advanced studies as we move them through 21 and 22. And so we'll be the catalysts here will be drill results in 2021, followed by technical reports with new resource and 43-101 compliant resources towards the end of the year. And so those will be the milestones that will, be circulated to the market as we start to bring out those results. So again, why E29? Again, we have great projects that are less advanced, less risk, because of their location. They're greatly located, low elevation, which is very positive for copper deposits today. They're in that 2,000 to 2,500 meter elevation range. They're close to the coast, as I said. There's lots of power infrastructure in both areas, as well as these are, open pit projects. So again, mining is cheaper that way, and they're close to the ports where a lot of existing mines are already sending their products. So again, road networks are good. There's available water for the projects. So those are the main issues that all companies look for, which help to reduce the capital costs of eventual production decisions. So again, the economic opportunity here is better because of the location. We have the right team with the right people that understand how to take these projects through the various advanced stages of exploration and studies. We've all done that in our careers. And again, we're at a very good infrastructure compared to our peer groups with a market cap of around $40 million. So a lot of upside growth with the milestones that we plan to achieve in 2021. We should see a rise in our valuations in accordance with those deliverables. We have a very clear work plan for 2021 into 2022, so that we'll be focused on drilling these known mineralized deposits and areas, and then expand on those at depth and on strike, and also onto the additional targets that we have on the project. So there's a lot of growth opportunities here. So we're excited about getting started and getting going on exploration on these two projects.